This is bad. Sam and oh God. What's up with
Attention, successful people. Entrepreneur Nate Brown has a special offer just for you. His book, The Laws of Success, will get you back on the path to achieving your dream. I've left the link at the top line of the description box right now. I need everybody under the sound of my voice to go show my man some love. He has my personal endorsement.
And taking full advantage of every opportunity.
Sure. So at what point did you run into Puffy, or as they call him now, Diddy?
Oh, that was 97, man. Actually, a friend of mine, a guy named Kevin Wells, connected me and Puff in 97. And we had a phone call, man, and I flew to New York. And, man, that was all she wrote, man. We started rocking, and that was it. Things was beautiful.
Definitely. Let's go back to I Don't Want to Know, man. Could you go take us back to the creation of that song as well, based on the Fugees beat and everything? Take us back. Was that based on a real life experience that you went through?
You know what? That's just something I was going through at the time. I'd always loved that sample. I had heard it in a movie called Sleepwalkers years and years and years before the Fugees did it. But you know, they did it first, which I'm glad they did, because Ready or Not is still to this day one of my favorite records. Shout out to Jerry Wonder who produced that. And you know, it was just something I was going through at the time, and I'm secure enough in myself to, you know, to speak and be vulnerable and just, you know, just say how I felt. Some people take it as, oh, you wouldn't want to know, that's whack, you this, you that. And I'm like, listen, man, that's how I felt. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you find out some information and you don't know how you're gonna respond or what kind of position that'll sit, you know, put you in. But you know, it's just what I felt. It's something that I was going through mentally. I just decided to write about it, man, and it ended up being a success. You know, I wasn't even really expecting that to be a success like that. It's just a song that I had did, and they ended up putting it on a guy named Conrad who was working with Badboy. Shout out to Conrad. Ended up putting it on the Badboy mixtape, and it just took off. But that wasn't even really something that I was planning on putting out like that. But it ended up doing what it did.
Now, you wrote, produced, and obviously performed that record?
Yes, I wrote the record and produced it. I also had a co-writer. The same guy who wrote Can't Be Friends With Me, he wrote on I Don't Want to Know with me as well. Phenomenal writer named Michael Jones.
Dope. Now, how was it clearing that record? I know you obviously dealt with a lot of samples and know what that sample game is like. So did you get the record cleared, and were you able to get full publishing and recoup for that record?
Nah, I mean, we definitely had to give up some publishing to Enya and to Eric Sermon and Parrish, because the drums is from Your Customer. So, you know, we definitely had to share in that, but I ain't had no problem with that, because it was about the composition of the record and about the record itself. So, you know, I think that record did well for all of us.
What do you think over the last probably decade, you know, Diddy's been getting a bad rap, you know, from working with some of his artists, a lot of artists that were disgruntled over the years. What would your experience be working with Diddy? And, you know, how do you feel about all the artists that came out against Diddy?
Say that again.
I said, how do you feel about all the artists that came out against Diddy? And I was asking, you know, how do you feel about, you know, over the last 10 years, everybody coming at him? And what was your experience with Diddy as well, working with Diddy?
My experience with Diddy was phenomenal. It was all great. You know, I have nothing but greatness to speak about my brother. I'm not gonna comment about, you know, what anybody else said, because I don't know the details of that. But as far as me and Puff's experience, it was great, man, and it's still great. I'm doing something with him as we speak. We're working on something phenomenal. Yeah, always keeping it positive. Yeah, everything was cool with me. Always.
Do you think the criticism is fair from fans and from people around him alike, given maybe given what he's given to the game and his time in the game and who he is in the game? Do you think that the criticism is fair?
I choose not to speak on that. We can talk about my career, but as far as my brother, I have nothing but great things to say about Puff, man. That's my brother. We've had a lot of great success together, and we're going to keep having some great success together.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Now you came to Badboy. I heard you saying, like, right, kind of like after Biggie died, so there's no memories there. But, you know, being on the label, what was the atmosphere like after that? What stories did you hear about Biggie? Obviously, remixes and things like that. Could you share a little bit of that with us?
Yeah, I mean, it was great. I mean, the atmosphere was, we came together and we survived together, and we put out as much as great music as we possibly can together, man. So I'm thankful for it, man. It was a great atmosphere.
You said earlier in the interview that it was during a time, sometime during your rise to fame and your high time in fame, that being an artist had its dark moments, and being in the music industry had some of its dark moments. Can you kind of share to the best of you do the best way you can some of those dark moments and why you decided to kind of take a break a little bit, step away?
Well, I choose not to highlight dark moments. I'll highlight the positive moments. I mean, everybody in life, whatever path they are, they have, moments to where they go through things, and whether it's just you might be just super tired, you might be super drained, you might just have, some time you need to really search your soul and within yourself. And so, when I speak of dark moments, that was just something personal that I was going through within myself, and something that I didn't really choose to highlight. But the positive thing that I will highlight about that is I got through it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a praying man, and I was excited about it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Was the industry what you expected coming out of gospel, going into the secular? Was it what you expected? Did it hit you with any surprises?
Say that again.
I said, was the industry what you expected? Did it hit you with any surprises coming out of the gospel realm and moving into the secular?
Nah, it wasn't no surprises. You know what I'm saying? I love music, so it was great. It was great.
I Need a Girl Part 2, one of my favorite records, probably all time. Like it was during a real great time in my life. '02, about to graduate. That song comes out in the summertime. You're on the bikes in Florida talking to the honeys, and it was just a beautiful moment. Talk about that, the creation of that record, I Need a Girl Part 2.
Oh man, we was just working on some remixes and got in the studio and cooked that beat up, man, and Puff loved it, and we came together and made something great, man. And that was a very, very great success for us all, man, and people still play that record to this day, man. And that was some fun times, man. Some fun times.
You produced that record?
Yes, I did.
Word, damn, catalog is crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How you feel about the current state of R&B and where it evolved to, from the late 90s to now? Do you think anything is missing from the game, and how come it's like, disappeared that kind of, mainstream R&B from the mainstream, I should say?
I think, our time evolves. You know what I'm saying? I think technology came in and also had its effect on a lot of different music. And I'm not gonna say what I feel is missing, but what I will say is I love and I gravitate more to like musical songs and songs that have a lot of music in it and musicality and stuff like that. But I think there's a place for every genre of music and every style of music. There's an audience and there's a listener for it. So where it is right now, I think R&B is in a great space right now. I mean, look at her, just won Oscar. She won a Grammy. My man D Mile, who was an R&B producer, just won an Oscar and a Grammy in the same year. So I think R&B is in a great space. It's just all about how you look at it. You can choose to look at something negative, or you can choose to look at something positive. I see it in a positive light.
How have you evolved over the years as a producer, and how has the artist evolved? How is you working with artists before and now evolved over time?
I've evolved because I stay dedicated to my craft. I stay, learning and studying. I still study different genres of music. I still study, producers that I look up to, like the Teddy Rileys, the David Fosters, and the Quincy Jones, Stevie Wonders. And so I think you have to continue to evolve, but I think you have to also remain who you are in your core as far as what your sound is. As far as working with artists, I mean, I think that's an individual thing, depending on who the artist is. I've always had great experiences working with artists because I've been blessed to work with some of the best iconic artists in the game.
How do you feel about the versus battles that have been going on? And would you ever participate in a versus battle?
I love the versus battle. I like the fact that they're celebrations. I like the fact that two artists or two producers or two groups or whatever can come together and celebrate their success and have people celebrate with them and give them their flowers while they're here. So me personally, that's not for me. You know what I'm saying? I just like to do what I do, but I love to watch them. I think it's phenomenal. I think it's a great experience and a platform for everybody to come and just play their music and have millions of people watch and enjoy it. I think that's amazing.
One battle that everybody's been kind of talking about, wanting to see happen, was Usher versus Chris Brown. What would be who would you side with in that opinion? With your expertise in music.
I don't pick sides. I celebrate both. You know, they're both phenomenal artists. So I'm really I don't pick sides on that. I think Usher's incredible and Chris is incredible. So I would just be happy to see it, to listen to the music. Both of those guys have dominated in their music for years. So I think it's more of a celebration than a choosing of sides. You know what I'm saying? It ain't a basketball game. It's a celebration of two guys that have had great, great, great success and sold millions of records and performed in front of millions of people. So that's how I look at it.
So what you got going on next or upcoming that the people should know about? Anything outside of music?
Well, I started a platform called Our Time, ARTIME. That's a online music mentoring platform to where kids and adults can go on and book one-on-one video sessions, mentoring sessions with what we call creative masters, producers, songwriters, engineers, band directors, musicians, DJs, vocal coaches, and we have all of the best from the past 30 years till now, from Brian Michael Cox, myself, the Hitman, Tim and Bob, Dre and Vidal, you know, Adam Blackstone, one of the biggest band directors out there in the game, and musicians. We have jazz musicians, my uncle Tim Bowman, and you can really go and learn and get mentored by one of the best or some of the best people in the game. And so I think it's something that's never been done. To have one-on-one, to have someone like myself, you can sit there and ask me anything, and I can mentor you about your career and where you're going in your career, so you can really learn the do's and don'ts, and we can really help you maintain your creative confidence in the music game, and also help you with this technology age, that you don't lose your creativity to technology, that you stay using technology and don't allow technology to use you. So that's one thing that I just launched recently this year, and it's going really, 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 really well. And you can go on www.artime.io. It's a UK-based company, but that's something that I'm very, very excited about. Is that platform called Our Time.
With that being said, what advice would you give to inspiring artists? We do have a lot of inspiring artists that watch this channel, so what will be your best advice for them, you know, trying to break into the industry?
Man, the best advice I would give to any aspiring artist is, number one, keep God first. Number two, stay positive. Number three, don't look for the negative. Stay away from gossip. Stay away from gossiping people. And stay dedicated to your craft. You know what I'm saying? And really focus on who you are, and don't sell yourself for an opportunity. And never forsake your value for an opportunity. But mainly keep God first and stay positive, man, and stay grateful.
Hey, man, we definitely appreciate your time.
Absolutely, man.
Mario Winans on the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. Hey, before you get up out of here, drop your social media handles, drop that website one more time for your app, and anything else you want to tell the people, bro.
Absolutely. You can find me at I am Mario Winans on Twitter and Instagram. Our time is www.artime.io. And man, I wish everybody the best. Thank you guys. I really enjoyed this, man. God bless you guys, and stay safe, man.